Hi Year 12s. So I thought I'd just catch up with you and do a little video about transition matrices. So I'm hoping that you've all worked through these and got down and finished 9D1 and then questions 5 to 9. So I thought I'd do a transition matrices question with you and then hopefully you've done the review set, get ready for your test on Thursday. So what we're going to do is number 5 on page 268. A farmer has heard of the success of soil restoration techniques and wishes to start a program. For the soil type and conditions of his land, the transition matrix is as follows. So I'm just going to point out some things just to make sure that you do this on the test. So always label with a letter. So transition matrices is normally a T. Make sure you've got square brackets, and each of your rows always adds up to 100%, so double check that. So what we're going to work through is A, B, C, D, E and F, and hopefully this will make much more sense, and you can repeat this process on the test on Thursday. So we'll start with state the meaning of the number in row 1, column 3. Alrighty, so row 1, column 3, row 1, column 3, so we're looking at 0.1. So what you need to do is make sure you point out what the number is and then tell me what it is in a percentage. So 10% of the very good land this year, make sure you're using the years, will be very poor next year. So make sure in the test question you always use what they use and talk about this year or this week or today or whenever the time frame is, and next year as well. So then number 2. So now we're looking at row 3, column 1. Row 3, column 1, which is 0.0. So 0% of the soil, which is very good, no, very poor, sorry, very poor this year, will be very good next year. Question B is asking you to find T squared and state the meaning of the number in row 2, column 3 and row 3, column 2. So we'll find T squared. Okay, using the calculator, make sure you just square it and also double check that all your rows add up to 1.0 or 100%. So we're looking at row 2, column 3. So row 2, column 3 is 0.16. So 16% of usable this year will be very poor in, now because it's squared, 2 years' time. And now row 3, column 2. Row 3, column 2, so we're looking at 0.42. So change it to a percentage. 42% of the very poor land this year will be usable, spell it right this time, in 2 years' time. Apostrophe. Okay, the next part of the question is, what is the initial land quality matrix? So when they ask you that, you know you've dealt with T before. So now you go up to a new matrix and they give you a sentence about what the present situation is. So what you need to do now is, it always starts with S, and you're going to have 3 numbers, one for very good, one for usable, and one for very poor. And they're telling you the whole lot of the land is very poor. So that means there's 0% is very good, 0% is usable, and the whole thing is poor, very poor. So then that would be just a 1. Okay, so 100% is very poor, which is not good. That's not what you want as a farmer. Alright, back to the question. So we have looked at the present land is all very poor. What is the land quality after 3 years? And then they've given us how many hectares are very good land, blah, blah, blah. And then you want to predict for 4 years. And then F, steady state. They always have these type of questions, so just make sure you can follow the same process. Okay, here we go. What is the land quality after 3 years? So we need to use the initial land matrix, so S, and because it's 3 years, we want t to the power of 3. Alrighty, so now we have S times t to the power of 3. Work that one out. And now we've got the 3 numbers that we need for the very good, the usable, the very poor in 3 years' time. So therefore, 13.2%, very good, 45.6% is usable, 41.2% is very poor. Now for E, it says the property next door consists of 21 hectares of very good land, 157 hectares of usable land, and 428 hectares of very poor land. So you need to put that into a matrix. And if the same program is conducted on this property, how many hectares of each category will there be after 4 years? So t to the power 4. Okay, so the property next door had 21 hectares, 157, 428, all in the categories. And in 4 years' time, they were expecting to be, improving really. So 428 now, it's going to be 187 hectares in the future. So then F, it says what is the steady state? Now to do the steady state, the quickest way is really just go t to the power of a very large number and we'll go 100. Do that on the calculator and you should come up with t to the power 100, 0.375 and then 0.25 repeating. So each one of these will be the same. So therefore 37.5% of the land will be very good. 37.5% of the land will be usable. And 25% of the land will be very poor. Okay, so that, in a nutshell, is what you need to be able to do on the test coming up. And again, always double check that your lines add up to 100%. Okay, transition matrices in a nutshell.